When you think of tourist attractions, you may not think of Pitts, Georgia, down in Wilcox County. It has less than 400 folks, and it's mostly farmland.
But as Suzanne Lawler shows us, one couple is offering a tour, which includes some surprisingly cool stuff that's left a mark in history.
You wouldn't call downtown Pitts a technology hub by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, many of the buildings here are locked up, closed, and abandoned. But one couple, Clay and Valerie Oliver, want to change all of that. Last year, they began inviting people in to see their sunflower fields. This year, they've put together an entire adventure, and it all begins with a QR code. You can start your Oliver Farm tour at their gift shop on 7th Street.
They pay for the pass, and that includes the whole tour, and if flowers are in bloom, that includes that. It loads all the points on their phone.
Valerie and Clay Oliver came up with the idea. They're piggybacking off their sunflower fields. They give them sunflower oil that they bottle and sell. But for all of this, well, think more rural and rustic. Take, for instance, this old mule barn.
My great-grandfather had back in the Depression era, 30s, 40s, and 50s.
There is another log cabin on the tour that's also got some age to it. The timbers date back to before 1912. There is no guarantee you'll see wildlife, but Gopher Ridge is a stop, and tons of turtles live here. You'll also see a cypress pond, chock full of water lilies.
Yeah, my favorite is the jail, because I lived here forever and didn't even know that that jail was right behind the water tower.
It's tiny, nestled behind some trees. Inside, you can imagine folks in the slammer didn't have much space. The bars and beds date back to 1856.
You know, one thing that's really cool about this is the door still shuts. So.
This town's biggest claim to historic fame happened in what now is a cornfield.
They were scattered over a couple of miles path, but right through here is the path that the meteor shower occurred.
You know, how many cities have their own meteorite, you know, so.
Sean Rhodes is a native of the town and a magistrate judge. He heard the stories of the 1921 meteor from his grandfather.
And it's an iron meteorite, so that's actually a rare meteorite. There is only one of, I think, 61 in the world of that classification that have been recovered.
The bulk of the rock is now at the Smithsonian Museum. This is a map they took of the area. But Phil Connor's got a picture with a fragment recovered from his land.
It was cool.
Meteors are something very uncommon and, you know, definitely not earthly.
And it may seem uncommon to make this little town with rundown buildings something to come and see. But places like this old gas station are history and pure gold for folks that want cool Instagram shots or a way to show kids what rural life is really like.
Don't want to see it fade away and be a ghost town or be just run down with nothing going on. We want people to come here and have a good time.
The sunflowers are fleeting, but taking in a small town can happen all year long. Suzanne Lawler, 13 WMAZ News.
All right, the self-guided tour costs you $10.
And we've added a lot of web extras for this story, including Suzanne's Instagram favorite spots, a sunflower gallery, and more interviews with folks around town. Just look for this story on 13WMAZ.com.